And a pleasant good morning, reaching out to everyone. It's after the hour of 9. I am David Squeeze Annakie for the Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, brought to you by the law offices of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, aka PPID. My partner, my colleague, my co-pilot, my pilot, Adam Handler, is the top personal injury attorney in this hemisphere. Also, of course, the most celebrated personal injury attorney on this station. With that said, 93.5 FM listeners, Facebook viewers, we would love for you to share what it is that you're listening to, what it is that you're watching. And also, of course, I'd like to introduce the man of the hour right now. That man of the hour happens to be Adam Handler. How are you, Adam?
I'm not the man of the hour. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a net. I am not the man of the hour. I am here. I am your co-host. I'm your boy, the case handler. I've been doing this radio show in one way or another for over 15 years. Happy to do it. Excited to do it. Enjoy doing. I do thoroughly enjoy speaking to the people out there, embracing the community that's embraced me for so many years, and making sure that you guys understand that we are exceptional lawyers providing, regardless of your immigration status, regardless of who you are, where you're coming from, how much money you have, how much money you don't have. We do things very differently here at Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. I personally handle the personal injury cases. We have this show. We've been doing it. We've been calling it for over a year now, Cruising with the Case Handler. And, it used to be Squeeze and I, as I was driving into work, going to court, getting ready to kick some butt for my clients. That hasn't happened since March. Not the butt kicking, but the going to court. We've certainly been kicking butt, over $20 million last year for case handler clients, which was unbelievable considering I did not actually step on the footsteps of a courthouse at all after COVID hit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Let me give out the phone number a couple of times just so you guys understand how to get in touch with us. And of course, if you can't take the number down now, just Google us later. Our phone number is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID-LAW. PPID are the initials of our firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. So 844-PPID-LAW. I'm down with PPID. Alexandra's down with PPID. Andrea, I don't know if I've asked you in a very long time. You down with PPID?
Yes, I am.
All right. And Squeeze, look at that. Squeeze with that $1 million smile on his face. Those pearly whites busting out. You down with PPID, brother?
Come on, man. You always ask me that. You know I'm down with PPID. You know me.
All right. Let's get to it. What do you want to talk about today? The people out there, they're getting pumped for the weekend. We used to do Johnny Kemp Fridays. Remember, that song, Friday night, just got paid, money in my pocket, feeling right. Well, that's how my clients feel, because we certainly are getting them paid over and over and over again for their injuries, for their time out of work, and of course their medical bills. But with respect to immigration, we're doing the same thing. We may not be getting money compensation for our clients, but we're legalizing their status here in the United States. We're filing for citizenship. We're getting them out of deportation proceedings. It's incredible the work that we've been doing here for the community.
That's absolutely true. Once again, the voice of Adam Handler, our personal injury attorney. If and when you do get hurt in an accident, you need Adam Handler to fight for you, tooth and nail. He's at the firm. He's a partner at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Once again, the phone number, everyone that's tuning into 93.5 FM and also on Facebook, the number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Let's welcome the ladies today, all right? Such a refreshing change of the show to have the ladies on the show. Alexandra, Boss Lady Bondakov, how are you?
I'm well. It's been a wonderful week.
It's been, all right. We know why she's saying that. All right. I think I do know why she's saying that. Alexandra happens to be one of the top attorneys at the firm. She's an immigration attorney at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, PPID. We also have Andrea Scher. How are you, Attorney Scher?
Good. Happy to be back. It's my first time this year.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Good to have you back. I see everyone's in the office.
Yes.
Everyone's back in office. Everyone's rolling. Everyone's got their sleeves up and they're ready to go. Well, as Alexandra noted, it's been a great week. I don't know if she want to touch on that as to why she thinks it's a great week. Does it have anything to do with executive orders? Why do you think it's a great week so far, Alexandra, boss lady?
Well, it's refreshing for the first time in 4 years to be speaking about immigration in terms of positive things to be accomplished versus, restrictions and deportations and walls and all that. So, and not just because of immigration. I think it was a very, very good week for America. But specifically in terms of immigration, I think that everybody on the show this week was probably talking about the new Biden administration and what they will try to accomplish and the concrete steps that they have taken so far in the very early days of the administration to undo what the previous one tried very hard to do. There are several executive orders. We're expecting several more in the future. There's a stay on deportation for 100 days. The Muslim ban was finally rescinded. And of course, there is a proposed bill, a comprehensive immigration bill that was submitted to Congress.
Okay. Great things, good things happening with immigration right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we want to say thanks to each and every one for tuning in. Let me take 30 seconds out to ask everyone that is on Facebook, okay, to please share what it is that you're watching right now. I'm about to flip it over to personal injury for a while. Before we do that, let's remind you to place your questions on the Facebook page that you're watching. David Annakie, the case handler, PPID, that's Pollack, Isaac, and Lisico. Or you can call 844-774-3529 and book your consultation, or put it in our WhatsApp group that Tracy and Ali is actually posting up on our Facebook pages. Once again, the number is 844-PPID-LAW. Going to switch it over to Adam Handler as you all share on Facebook in groups and pages and timelines what it is that you are watching right now. Adam Handler, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is your most celebrated personal injury attorney in the Caribbean community on this radio station. And he has settled well over $130 million for his clients. He has proven himself. So make sure you reach out to him, 844-PPID-LAW. Adam.
Hey, man. Thanks for that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listening on 93.5 FM, thank you so much. We certainly know, and I say this every day, and I do mean it. We certainly know there's other things you can be listening to right now or watching right now. And the fact that you're hearing us at this very moment live Friday at 9:38 a.m. On the 22nd of January, it means the world to us. It really, really does. We tried to provide quality content out there, answering your immigration questions, talking about true life success stories on the personal injury side. But I think the message really is clear that, we are lawyers that care. We're lawyers that do things very, very differently than most other law firms out there, particularly other law firms that are either advertising on this radio station or advertising elsewhere. We are practicing attorneys, and that means that we are the individuals, we are the professionals that will actually be working on your file. We are the individuals that will actually be working on your case. I was just waving goodbye to my wife. She's going to get her first vaccine today, so that's exciting. Wow. And we're the attorneys that are going to fight for you like family. When you have a case and Alexandra's your attorney, she is handling your file. She'll have the help of the firm, but she's handling your file. Andrea, same thing. She'll take that call. She'll, bring you in as a client, and she'll see it to the end. Same thing with personal injury. Myself and my associate, Matthew Goodstein, we are the attorneys that will be handling your case from the very beginning to the very end when it comes to negotiating the file. So you'll be in good hands because the people you're working with, whereas other law firms out there advertising, they'll spend a lot of money, make a lot of noise trying to get your case, and maybe you bring your case there. But then you have absolutely no idea who's going to be working on it. And I certainly wouldn't want to be going to a professional just to have it handed off to somebody else. I would want to know that particular individual is the one that's looking at my case, overseeing my case, and most importantly, working on my case. So that's the biggest difference between us and the other lawyers out there. And you know what? The proof is in the pudding. You know, there are lawyers, you know, personal injury lawyers that will take a case and give it to somebody, an associate or somebody else, or even send it to another law firm. You know, other law firms, they take your case and then they dish it off to another law firm to work on. And you're left in the wake because you have no idea who your lawyer is and how they're going to do it. And it's not by coincidence that, you know, last year we did over 20 million. The year before that, we did 25 million. You know, I have over 130 million in my career because we have a dedication to excellence and we're exceptional lawyers. So with that, I just want to talk about one quick case and then I want to flip it back over to immigration because I know a lot of people out there are really excited about the changes ahead, the light at the end of the tunnel, the prospects for them to change their life and their family's life, not only for the short-term future, but for generations and generations and generations to come. So let's get to a quick true life success story. And I love these true life success stories because it's really the best way for you folks to understand the work we do at PPID with respect to personal injury. It's a really great way for you to be connected to the case handler, the team, our mantra and what we try to accomplish. So ladies and gentlemen, listening right now on the radio, again, thank you so much. If you can go one step further and check out the case handler on Instagram, check out the case handler on Facebook, you'll be connected to my practice. You'll see with your very own eyes the true life success stories of those individuals that have unfortunately come before you. Have never expected in a million years that they'd get into that terrible accident, the car accident, the construction accident, the work accident, the trip and fall, the medical malpractice. But when disaster struck, they and their families had thousands and thousands and thousands of options of lawyers out there to decide who they wanted to make sure that they were going to fight for that one and only shot. And Andrea, who did they pick? I know I'm picking on you today. Who did these very intelligent people pick
The
to be their attorney?
The best one.
Right, exactly. So don't take my word for it. Take Andrea's word for it. No, I'm just kidding. Take the client's word for it. And Squeeze, if you can read that quote for me, it would make my morning.
All right. Adam, Matt, Sandra, and Ava handled the case, and they did a really good job. My overall experience was great. I encourage everyone to go to the case handler team. Wally from Mount Vernon, New York. $200,000 in settlement. And this is for a taxi accident.
Yep.
That's phenomenal.
Yep. So he was driving a cab. Another car ran the stop sign. Now it was a four-way stop sign. So, of course, what do you think Alexandra, the other car, said? My guy says that he stopped at the stop sign. The other guy ran the stop sign. What do you think the other car said?
Of course, he stopped at the stop sign.
Right, of course. So it wasn't, it was like Shaggy, your buddy Shaggy. It wasn't me, right? Like, everybody did what they had to do. Well, we weren't going to take no for an answer. And we actually found an independent witness in the house right across the street that actually saw the accident happening. They were outside working in their yard and they saw the accident. The police did not note them as a witness, but I sent my investigator out there and they emphatically said that my client stopped, proceeded, and the other car ran the stop sign and collided into him. So a wonderful job investigating, digging up the facts, making sure that we could represent our client effectively. And we got him $200,000 for this accident. And one of the biggest issues we had too was the venue. Generally the county of Westchester is a very conservative venue when it comes to jury awards. Generally speaking, if you're injured in an accident, you want your case filed in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, even Manhattan. They just tend to be more favorable to plaintiffs, more understanding, more empathetic and sympathetic, whereas Nassau County and Westchester County are notoriously very difficult counties to bring cases. And, you can be very, very injured in these counties, and statistically showing you're probably not going to have big compensations. So the fact that we were able to get 200 grand for this case in a very difficult venue is something that I'm very, very proud of. So thank you, Wally, for letting us be your lawyer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to that true life success story. Thank you, ladies, counselors, for your input during that true life success story. And, Squeeze, we do some exceptional work here. I can't stress it enough. We can't say we're the best, right? Andrea may say I'm the best, but I can't say I'm the best.
Personal opinion.
But we are exceptional attorneys that provide exceptional legal work. And we do follow that mantra that my grandfather had told me so many years ago. I'm third generation attorney. A good attorney will have many, many, many files. A client only has one. Make sure you treat your client's case like it's your most important case. And that's certainly what we did for Wally. That's certainly what we do for all those thousands of people that we've been able to help, not only on the personal injury side, but on the immigration side as well. And I'm sure Alexandra and Andrea could attest to that they treat every file like it's the most important piece of business that they need to address that day.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, speaking with Adam Handler, the man who has demonstrated his skill, showed his skill set, man. You are the MAN. I said it earlier. You are the man. Stop being modest. If anyone gets hurt in an accident, they only need you when it comes to fighting for them as an attorney, Adam. Who would they need? Who else would they need where an attorney is concerned? Tell me. You tell me.
Well, if they want it done right, nobody. If they're willing to take a chance and go with the guy that runs up to them at the emergency room or at the scene of the accident, or go with somebody that's on top of the hour or screaming their head off, then maybe that's the best way to go. I can't tell you. But if you want the real deal, if you want the case handler, if you want Adam Handler working on your file, the only number you should be calling when, God forbid, disaster strikes is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the personal injury side of the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. If you're actually tuning in right now on 93.5 FM, store the number. You may need it in the future for Adam Handler. God forbid you get hurt in an accident, or a family member or a friend or even a foe. 844-PPID-LAW. Now let's switch it over to immigration. Andrea, Alexandra, before we get to questions, anything you'd like to say on immigration before I jump right into the questions? We know you're good at answering them. Just want to find if you all wanted to say anything before we jump into it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add a little bit about the proposed bill, or the proposed, the bill that the Biden administration wants to introduce. So one of the big things is that they want an 8-year path to citizenship. So for all those undocumented immigrants right now, that would be a very good option, but we don't know what that's going to look like yet, and we don't know if it's going to pass, but that is one of the big or major themes of the bill. Conrad actually shared a post this morning that said that 8-year plan is pretty much non-negotiable for them, for the Democrats, so we'll see how that will work when it's discussed. Another thing that they're proposing is, for example, DACA holders. So right now, when you have DACA, you can only get a work permit, right? So it's not permanent status, and it doesn't lead to anything. It's just renewing your work permit, right? But one of the proposed changes as well is that if you meet certain requirements and you have DACA, you have TPS, or you are a foreign worker, you could immediately be eligible for a green card. And after that, 5 years later, you could apply for citizenship. So that's another proposal. There's one that I personally really think it's a good one, which would be for those people that have a pending family petition. You know, when your family member petitions for you, you're in Jamaica and it's going to take 4 or 5 years. Sometimes you can't travel on a tourist visa because they think you have immigrant intent. So that proposed change is saying for those people that have those pending family petitions, we are going to allow them to come in on a visa so they can visit their families, stay with their families, regardless of the fact that they have this pending petition. I'm very optimistic, but people say it might not work. So we'll see how that all plays out. I did want to point out something that Trump did the last day he was in office. He signed an executive order where he said that deportation of all Venezuelans was going to be stopped for at least 18 months. So that was very good. One good thing he did, I guess, before leaving office. And we don't think the Biden administration will undo that because it is very helpful to immigrants. But yeah, so these are all proposed changes. We're waiting to see what happens. I'm still very hopeful and optimistic that some of these changes will pass, but it's just a matter of time to see how it develops.
Okay, great. Good stuff coming from Andrea, one of the attorneys at the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Want to remind you all, get your consultations now. Get your discounted consultations. Call them, 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. Ask them all your questions, but you got to book the consultation. You got to schedule a consultation with one of the immigration attorneys at PPID. 844-774-3529. So we're all ready to rock and roll with the questions, right? Let's jump right into it. All right, so here we go. Good morning. I am a U.S. citizen and have applied for GC for my spouse. I presume that's green card.
Green card, yeah.
Yeah, AOS from F1 to GC. We got the receipt saying that the application was received on the 25th of September. However, we don't have any update on any applications. I-130, I-131, I-485, I-765 since then. Is it normal or do I need to follow up with someone? I'm especially concerned about the biometrics. It says fingerprint fees received, but no any update after that. Is this normal too? Reading as I see it here.
So normally, once you file, you get the receipt notice about 3 weeks later or so. And then you should be getting your fingerprint appointment to go get fingerprinted. And that should happen within months. They filed in September, so that's already almost 4 months. So that could be a little out of the normal processing. But the fact that they don't have an interview is completely normal. It's going to take a lot more time. But if they didn't, I'm not sure from that text or that message if they did go for fingerprints or not. If they didn't, then they should probably contact USCIS and figure out why they haven't been scheduled for fingerprint appointments.
Things have really slowed down right now, though. I mean, what Andrea is saying is true under normal circumstances. However, we're seeing significant delays across the board. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, we don't see even the receipt notice for upward of 2 months. We have cases that we filed in early October. We haven't even gotten the receipt notice yet. And unfortunately, this is normal for the current circumstances, especially when it goes for biometrics, because those schedules would depend on the COVID situation on the ground, right? They're still operating under significant restrictions. I think it's something like 25% of the capacity. They had a huge influx of applications in October, and that certainly is causing a delay. So I don't think that this is a cause of concern at this time. They should probably hear something back within the next month or so. And if not, they can follow up with the call center.
Got you. All right. The number once again for the attorneys that you're listening to and other immigration attorneys at the firm is 844-774-3529. I implore anyone that need immigration benefits, immigration help, to call exclusively PPID. 844-PPID-LAW. You can schedule a consultation with any of the ladies here. Alexandra Bondikoff or Andrea Share, their attorneys at the firm, immigration attorneys, 844-PPID-LAW. The same number to also reach a separate department known as the Personal Injury Department with Adam Handler, 844-PPID-LAW. Let's go to another question here. My friend's wife went to the United States on a visitor's visa and has decided not to return. My friend and his wife have both decided to begin divorce proceeding. As it relates to my friend, his mother is a naturalized United States citizen who is currently filing for him. He's wondering if the current situation with his wife will affect his filing.
That would depend on whether his wife filed for him or if she had status. I'm not sure in that email if the wife was a citizen or not. But it shouldn't, if there were no issues with like the validity of the marriage, or if there wasn't even anything filed with immigration, then it's not going to be a problem from the mother's petition.
Right. And if you need help, folks, you know, I always say, go with the attorneys. Don't try to do the case yourself. You know, a lot of these questions are people who are attempting to do the case themselves. And, you know, 50% of the time, people screw them up. Make the call to the
and it just costs you more money. I mean, if you do it yourself and you screwed up, it's just going to cost you more money than it would have initially to right the ship and fix things. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if you miss a filing deadline or if your form is rejected, it actually can have very severe consequences on your ability to legalize afterwards. So absolutely, I don't think it's worth doing it alone.
Another thing is that people, and this happened when I got a lot of calls before, is that people file it by themselves, and let's say they move and they update their address with immigration, but they don't understand that immigration sometimes doesn't even get the address change or doesn't even update it. So they still send mail to that other place. Whereas if you have an attorney, we will get every single mail that you get, regardless of whether you move. So we can always track that for you, help you with that, and make sure you don't miss any deadlines or any anything. Basically, we'll be aware of every single thing that happens and help you through it. And that's one thing that I've noticed people always have trouble with. So
Absolutely. And okay, here's another one before we conclude. I filed for my mother, who now resides in New York City. She's unemployed and disabled with several medical issues, including dementia. I have 3 siblings in Jamaica who are my mother's children. Can she file for them, or should I do so since my mother is unemployed and sick?
So that's a good question for public charge considerations. If he files for his siblings, it would be category F4, brothers and sisters of US citizens, and that has a wait period of like 14, 15 years, something like that. So that's not very feasible. The mother could file. It depends on the how sick if she's capable under the law to like file and sign or whatever. I don't know what the extent of her capacity is, but if she can do it, it would be a lot faster. And in terms of her not working, you can do the substitute, or the sponsor could be him if he works, and you could try to do it that way. But definitely that would be a case with that an attorney would be better to help.
I was just about to say it's best that an attorney handle such a situation, and they can simply call you, Andrea, or Alexandra, at 844-774-3529, a 60-year-old law firm in New York City at 225 Broadway, on the 3rd floor, not above, on the 3rd floor. All right. A question for you, Alexandra, before we conclude the show on personal injury and immigration. I am in a relationship with a United States citizen. We feel it is time that we bridge the distance between us and get married. What are the implications of traveling to the United States to get married to him on a visitor's visa? Will I be able to travel back and forth while application is pending after the marriage?
So this is a very common question. If the person already has the visa, they can come, but we always warn people against misrepresentation. Basically, every time you come in on a tourist visa, you're making a representation that the purpose of your travel is to visit for a short period of time and go back home. Basically, you maintain a non-immigrant intent. If you're coming here to get married and you do so within the first 90 days from your being here, later on, USCIS often raises this as visa fraud at entry. So yes, it is possible to come here on a tourist visa, but people have to be mindful about that possibility, that their intent when they came initially would be questioned. Once they file for the adjustment of status application as part of the packet, this person would be entitled to an advance parole document that will allow them to leave the country, travel internationally, and return without jeopardizing the green card application.
Gotcha. This concludes our show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give out the phone number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. You heard from the attorney, Adam Handler, who runs the personal injury department at PPID. He's a partner. And of course, you heard from Alexandra Bondakov and Andrea Scher. They are immigration attorneys at the firm. Once again, 844-774-3529. Thank you so much.
It's 10 o'clock.
Right in there.
Great.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook, remember to share. We want everybody to see the show. There will be many questions over the next few weeks, next few months, couple of years. Make sure you reach out to PPID. Reach out to Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Reach out to Alexandra, Andrea. Reach out to Adam Handler when you get hurt in an accident. Reach out to the Conrad Pollacks, the Nelson Madrids, the Yee, and more. The number, 844-774-3529. Don't forget our law forum, PPID Law Forum, which happens on February the 5th at 6 p.m. via Zoom. You'll be receiving correspondence as to how to register for this major forum coming up on the 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York City, of course. Make sure you reach out to us. The number, once again, is 844-PPID-LAW, or you can email news@ppid.com to be a part of the newsletter. That's news@ppid.com. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch up and speak with you again very soon. Have yourself an amazing weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching.
Thank you, Squeeze.
Thank you.
Thanks.